Welcome to Unity Inspired Living. Our community began in 1989 as a small worldwide Unity book study group, and we've continued the momentum as an ever-evolving spiritual community. Each Sunday, you will find dynamic thought leaders delivering inspiring messages and talented musicians sharing sound healing through their melody. Here, we embrace ancient spiritual traditions, universal truths, and emerging wisdom. Let's check out this Sunday message. We're so grateful you've joined us. My name is Amy Vanling, and I am joyfully the spiritual director here at Unity Inspired Living. And I am so deeply grateful that our paths are crossing today. It is a gift. It is a gift to be together. So thank you for making time for your spiritual nourishment and for choosing to be part of this community, because every week we gather to encourage one another and deepen our understanding about everything. And remember that we never walk this path alone. And this is why community, especially spiritual community, is so vital for us humans to thrive. So thank you for being part of this, this little ecosystem here that is thriving. So I just returned from a Caribbean cruise last night, and so I'm still kind of floating. And as beautiful as everything was, what I was kind of paying attention to, knowing our theme for this month, was light in unexpected places. So I was looking for all of these ways, and I just noticed things like the way the sun glistens on the waves. It's like these little specks and these little spots across the waves, or coming into port, there's all these cruise ships. It's quite a sight, and the sun would just come through certain areas, and just noticing light in different ways, meeting new people that you would maybe never talk to again, but in the moment, it's like a light, and so thinking to myself that you have to be paying attention though to allow the light to reveal. And maybe that is what our whole spiritual walk is about, that we're paying attention to the small things. Sometimes we think this big great awakening needs to arrive in a dramatic moment or a dramatic way, and often they do come quietly in those small gestures or those small moments. So this month we are exploring light in unexpected places, and we are discovering that sometimes that light is right within us. So thank you for being here and ready to start a new journey, a new theme this month. And I cannot think of a better person, a radiant light, to kick us off with this theme. It is my great joy to welcome Reverend Wendy Silvers. She is so amazing, a radiant light, affectionately known by many as Mama Wendy. She has dedicated her life to helping, assisting, guiding, walking alongside of people and helping them realize their fullest potential and remembering the light that is within them. And she is a minister, a transformational life coach, a spiritual teacher, intuitive guide. She is inspiring, and she inspires countless people to move forward beyond fear, reconnect with their inner wisdom, and live authentically. So thank you, dear Reverend Wendy, for saying yes to us. Her message is a beautiful way to begin our theme: Radiant Beauty, Let Your Light Shine. And so as we begin exploring light in unexpected places, Wendy is here with that real life reminder of your radiance, as she shows you with her own. So I am so grateful. And we are, as I mentioned before, and Jan mentioned, we will be moving into the Zoom room for the workshop, concluding the service here on the live stream. So we'll see you in the workshop when we conclude. So join me in warmly sending welcoming, loving energy to this radiant being, lighting the path for everyone else. Reverend Wendy Silvers, we're so grateful for your sacred yes to shine brightly with us this morning. And then you will see on the screen John Silvers, and I am delighted to have John back. And it's so nice because we get this like dynamic duo when they're here together. We get this it's just this powerful couple, and bringing such depth to us and richness. And John's music has this beautiful ability to create an atmosphere of reflection and joy. He's just, it's smooth and rich, and you'll feel, if you haven't experienced John yet, just wait, because he's so gifted. And it's not just about the notes that he's playing, but the way his music invites us to slow down, just like brings us in, embraces us. That's really what it is. So thank you, John, for helping us reconnect with the radiance within each one of us and blessing our community with your music today. We are truly tremendously grateful for you. And you know this other beautiful light on our screen, and we have Jan with us this morning. Jan Knight is a pillar of this community, and you know her well and her beautiful light. And she is here to share our inspirational reading and guide us through our prosperity and practice this morning. So thank you, Jan, for your faithful presence and for sharing your voice in our community. We are grateful for you. So we are going to begin, and I like to just take a moment to affirm our purpose, and this is by just reminding us about our mission statement. It's like, where is this ship sailing? And this ship is sailing by fostering love and wisdom, inspiring transformation, offering compassionate outreach, and embracing unity. So thank you for being on this mission with us. So we are going to open up now with our community song. So I'm handing the screen over to John, and he is taking us away. Thank you, John.
Thank you. Thank you. So great to be here. And I've heard the word gratitude many times so far in this broadcast. So I'm going to share a song that you can sing along with me called Grateful. And I actually wrote it for my wife, but I think that we can all be grateful for the love that we share with each other and the opportunity to come together. So the chorus of the song says, I'm grateful for every single hour. I'm grateful for every single day. I'm grateful for every single moment that I get to spend with you this way. So it goes like this, and I'll sing it once and I'll go back over it so you can learn it. It goes like this. I'm grateful for every single hour. I'm grateful for every single day. Next one is moment. I'm grateful for every single moment that I get to spend with you this way. We'll try one more time. Ready? It's hour. I'm grateful for every single hour. I'm grateful for every single day. Next one is moment. I'm grateful for every single moment that I get to spend with you, that I get to spend with you this way. One more time, that I get to spend, that I get to spend with you this way. Okay, here it goes, ready? They say that absence makes the heart grow fonder, but for me that isn't true. Because my love is never stronger than when I am here with you. So I'll cherish every moment that you are by my side. Hand in hand we'll walk together, and let love be our guide. Here we go, ready? Grateful. I'm grateful for every single hour. Next one is day. I'm grateful for every single day. Moment. I'm grateful for every single moment that I get to spend with you this way. That I get to spend. That I get to spend with you this way. Sometimes the little things are big things, like when I see you smile. That's when I know you feel the same way too, and you'll stay with me a while. So let's put on our favorite songs and dance away the night. I know nothing ever can go wrong when we hold each other tight. Ready? I'm grateful for every single hour. Next one is day. I'm grateful for every single day. Moment. I'm grateful for every single moment that I get to spend with you this way. That I get to spend with you this way. One more time. I'm grateful for every single hour. I'm grateful for every single day. Moment. I'm grateful for every single moment that I get to spend with you this way. That I get to spend with you this way.
Oh, I love that song. Thank you for sharing it with us. It's very
You're welcome.
special. And to know it was for Wendy, but now it's for all of us too.
It's for everybody. I'm grateful for the opportunity to spend time with everybody here and
Oh,
for your beautiful community. So thank you.
oh, we're so grateful, John. Thank you very, very much. Okay, so as we take all of those words into our heart and the gratitude and fill us up, I'm going to hand the screen over to Jan, and she has our inspirational reading this morning. Thank you, Jan.
Oh, and thank you, John. I love that. It was so catchy and so I never heard anything like that before, and it really sticks in my mind and heart. Okay, so our inspirational reading for today is around the theme light in unexpected places, and the title is called Surprise. I open my heart to blessings and welcome the surprises coming my way. Daily routine can be a comfort, but if my life becomes too predictable, I can become numb to the world's wonders. Today, I renew my capacity to surprise myself by trying something new. I may travel somewhere unfamiliar and exciting or do something thrilling, all just for the fun of it. I also welcome surprises that come to me as serendipity. I call those light in unexpected places. When I receive an unexpected invitation, when someone remembers me with a visit or a gift, when I get a flash of inspiration like a bolt out of the blue, I can sense the presence of God and my intuition urging me to try new things. Life feels fresh and exciting through surprises. I see each one as an invitation, a way to meet my good and grow through the experience. And Luke 5:26 says, amazement seized all of them, and they glorified God and were filled with awe. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jan. I love the word awe, and I love using it with light in unexpected places too. Hmm, I like that. I'm going to chew on that. Thank you so much, Jan. We love and appreciate you. Okay, I'm going to hand the screen back over to John. He has some more soulful music for us.
Sorry, I'm playing tag with my computer. Trying to get it straight here. Okay. So, okay. Like a vision you came through my open window. Like a white dove you landed right by my side. Whispered softly, there's nothing to be afraid of. Took my hand and you taught me how to fly. I don't know where you came from, and I wonder where you've been. All that really matters is that you are here with me now. And I don't want to stop myself from having a head-on collision with love. I'm no longer scared of the darkness. You've shown me it's only the absence of light. I'm no longer scared of... Whoa. Let me try that again. I'm no longer scared of the darkness. That's right. You've shown me it's only the absence of light. I'm no longer blinded, since you've come to me and given me sight. You opened my eyes to the universe when I gave my heart to you. You filled my life with splendor and the vision of all that is true. And I don't want to stop myself from having a head-on collision with love. No, 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 no.
I
Thank
like
you.
that. The head-on collision with love.
Yeah,
Oh,
some people don't understand that that would be a beautiful thing, and
that could be the
they
whole
think
thing,
that
right?
head-on collision means violence. But when you're colliding straight with love, it's nothing but beauty.
It is so beautiful. I love the creativity in that. You know, we get used to hearing something in a certain way.
Mm.
So, hearing head-on collision, creates a certain feeling. And then with love, when you really adjust to think of that, it's like, wow, that has a whole different meaning. And how often we can do this in our lives is just very exciting for me.
Oh, great.
Thank
Well,
you for
thank you.
bringing that creativity. Music just has a way of reaching places that sometimes words alone cannot. So, thank
Thank
you
you.
for bringing that to us this morning. Okay, so we're going to hold this openness and move into our prosperity and practice. Thank you, Dan.
And thank you, John. And I see that like head-on collision with love as light and unexpected places. It's just perfect. Thank you so much, John. Okay, our prosperity reading is continuing our exploration of Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. We remember that intention joined with aligned action creates movement. And today we explore the importance of organized planning. And the prosperity principle is vision becomes reality through aligned and consistent action. And our practice for prosperity is Hill teaches us that desire without structure rarely manifests fully. Plans matter. Yet planning in spiritual life is not rigid control. It is cooperation with intention. Sometimes we wait for certainty before beginning, but movement itself creates clarity. So this week, take one practical step towards something meaningful. A conversation, a class, a schedule, a commitment. Divine ideas often require human participation. Thank you.
I love that. Divine ideas often require human participation. That is, what is the saying I'm thinking about? Uh, Action, something about action. It's not coming to me right now. Thank you, Jan. You know, everything happens, every form was once a thought, right? So we create, and thank you for that reminder. Sometimes we forget that all of our thoughts are making a difference, one way or the other. So thank you for opening our hearts and continuing our prosperity journey, and showing us all the ways we can light up. So I'm going to hand the screen back over to John, and he has our final song for us this morning. Thank you, John.
Oh, thank you. I'm having a great time here. All right. So, all of these songs I've done are songs I've written. This is another song I wrote called Family and Friends. And I just got a chance to help my best friend. Oh, I'm going to get emotional here. My best friend lost his house in the Eaton fire. And a lot of my friends lost their homes in the Eaton fire in Altadena. And yesterday I had an opportunity to help my best friend move some furniture into storage for the new house that they've almost completed building after a couple of years of being out of their home. So this is called Family and Friends. It goes like this. What if you woke up in the morning and found that everything you thought that really mattered so much didn't matter much at all? Maybe it would be a warning telling you it's time to look into your heart and get in touch with the meaning of it all. Life is never what it seems when you're chasing hollow dreams. The only thing that matters in the end is the love of our family and friends. What if you woke up in the morning and found that everything you want was here all the time? And all you had to do was rhyme. Would you stop conforming to all the things you think you have to do to win the prize? Would you open up your eyes to see that life is never what it seems when you're chasing hollow dreams? The only thing that matters in the end is the love of our family and friends. Oh, the only thing that matters in the end is the love of our family and friends. What if you woke up in the morning and found that all your possessions were suddenly gone? Would you want to carry on with nothing for adorning? Could you stand naked in the eyes of everyone? Or would you turn and run? You see that life is never what it seems when you're chasing hollow dreams. The only thing that matters in the end is the love of our family and friends. Oh, the only thing that matters in the end is the love of our family and friends. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Well, I think we have some new favorites today. So, yay. Isn't it something the way crisis or natural disaster, destruction, in whatever way that looks in life, sort of clears the lens and helps you to see, what are those hollow dreams and is it worth the chasing that? Or really, truly, what matters in the end is the love of family and friends. It's our shared humanity. It's our purpose is to love one another. I mean, it seems so simple, right? And yet we can easily forget because there's so much clogging the lens up and fogging the lens up sometimes. So thank you for that song. It
Thank
is,
you.
and thank
Yeah.
you for sharing about your friend and being the light and being probably a very big light in an unexpected place for them and having to transition and what a situation. So thank you
Yeah.
for the love that you share.
Thank you.
And how about let everybody know how they can find more about you and get your music?
Oh, well, I do a live stream every Sunday at 4 p.m. on Facebook. You just go to John Silver's Facebook page, and I'm right on there. I spend about half an hour just talking about stuff. I do some Shakespeare because I'm a trained, Shakespearean actor. I do some other storytelling, and I play, 2 or 3 songs. So that's one way to just connect with me, and you can actually leave a message while I'm playing, and I can read it, in the comments. And I even can write a song for you if you want. Just all you got to do is put a title in there, and next week I'll come back the following week with a song using the title you gave me. You just make up a title. So just fun
Love
stuff,
that.
and then I've got a lot of other stuff going on as well. But yeah, I wrote a play that I'm pitching to NPR Radio that hopefully they will interview me about sometime in the next, few months. And I just got going in a lot of good directions.
Yes,
And
that's wonderful. Well, we will be just shining the light in that direction, holding space for all of that to unfold just perfectly. How exciting, how
yeah, thank
wonderful.
you.
So
Thank you.
grateful that you shared all of that with us. Yes, and your
Yeah,
music is as deep and rich. Thank you for sharing
thank
with us
you.
and
Thanks for the
creating such a
opportunity.
beautiful atmosphere and a place of reflection. We had so much reflection this morning based on your music. So thank you. Thank you for
Thank
that.
you.
And thank you, Jan, for your thoughtful, radiant soul and being with us and being such a beautiful pillar of this community. We are thankful for both of you, and we will see you on the live stream side this morning. So, yay, everybody. I see you all tuning in with us. Thank you for being here. Thank you for co-creating this space. We do this together. So grateful for you. So, our speaker this morning, Reverend Wendy Silvers, is somebody who reminds us that we don't have to become someone different to shine. We just need to settle more deeply into our authenticity and become willing to let that light be seen, really. So please join me in warmly welcoming Reverend Wendy Silvers as she shares Radiant Beauty, Let Your Light Shine. Thank you, Wendy. We love you.
I love you so much too. Thank you, Jan. Thank you, John. And thank you, Amy. Welcome, everyone. It is such a joy and honor to be here with you on this day. And I just, what's so fascinating to me is the way the universe conspires to support whatever the intention is. Amy, I heard you talking about like seeing light in unexpected places and seeing the reflection in the water and being away. And John, I'm just going to remind you of that beautiful song that you wrote, The Next Time I'm Driving You Crazy, so that you can remember. And Jan, thank you so much for just holding such a powerful space. And yes, as Amy mentioned, I'm going to talk about Radiant Beauty, Let Your Light Shine. And I'm speaking, I feel drawn to speak about this, especially today in our world where sometimes it can be perceived as though there's a lot of darkness. And so what I want to tell you, and I'm going to tell you, is that there's a light in each of us. And it's not a metaphor for something else, but an actual spark of the divine. At the moment of our creation, we are implanted with this divine light and love of the Creator, that we ourselves are each made in the image, the likeness, and out of the substance of this presence itself. The mystic Meister Eckhart called it just that, a spark of divine nature, a divine light, a ray. There's a book, I took a class many years ago, and it talks about the mighty Elohim. And the mighty Elohim are the builders of the universe. And you can find them. I know this sounds very deep and esoteric, but across your forehead, let's say the cradle of your head, are these different lights, these rays of light that are each associated with with an ascended master teacher, these these archangels, and they're I was going to say compadres, but like the masculine and the feminine. And these are the builders of this multiverse, the builders of thought. And I think about the divine light, the divine ray. I remember my teacher, one of my teachers that I studied with for a number of years, Judith, had given me this book on the rays of light. And it was way back in the 90s. And I remember looking at this book and unfolding and looking at all the rays. And it was not the book of the mighty Elohim. It was a different book, very kind of academic-ish. And I was like, okay, not ready for this now. I love the light, but not ready for this at the moment. But there is a spark of the divine that is within you. And within, as Meister Eckhart said, this spark holds within it all of the goodness, a brilliant light that incessantly gleams, a fire that burns unendingly. And that fire is nothing other than, you can call it the Holy Spirit, you can call it Great Spirit, you can call it Godness. And it's so meaningful to me to know that in the midst of what might seem like darkness, or there might be a place where there's no light, or I might feel like there's no light in my life, it's like this lamp that is within me that I can light and increase the flame. Thomas Merton also described it, a point of pure truth at the very center of each being, untouched by anything else. You've heard in New Thought teachings that place within us that it cannot be hurt nor harmed. And it's this place. It belongs entirely. It's the godness implanted within us. And he called it a pure diamond blazing with the invisible light of heaven. And as we know, this divine presence is infinite and invisible, but we see evidence of it through us because this presence needed us to express through. So the light of the divine is within us, and we get to turn the flame up by where we focus our attention, what we focus on, how, do we meditate? Do we pray? Do we sit in the stillness? What moves me most about what he said and about this truth is that it's in everybody. It's not just one person. It's not just, well, they were good, so they'll get the light. They're not, so they won't. It's in everyone. And imagine if you would for a moment, like imagine raising your awareness, your sight to this beyond the earth, and you look down at the grid of this universe and you would see billions lights, brilliant points of light around the world, around this incredible universe. And that's the light, that's effulgence, that's the luminosity, not one soul shining alone, but every soul. And the more each of us lets our own flame increase, burn, rise high, the higher and the stronger the whole field of light becomes. Here's what I want to say. Your light is not in competition with anyone else's. There's no competition. It's in communion. It's like John's song, a holy collision, a holy communion with love, unifying, union with love. The more you shine, the more all of us can see. You've heard some of these others as you've grown up, probably don't hide your light under a bushel. And then Matthew 5:16, let your light so shine before men, before humans, that they may see your good works and glorify the divine who art in heaven, state of consciousness. So, what gets in the way of shining your light? Fear. Fear shows up in 1,000 different forms. And here's how tricky it is. It doesn't sound like an intruder. It speaks to you in your own voice. It sounds like you, but it's often a voice that began in your childhood. Maybe it was one of your parents or a grandparent or an auntie or uncle or a teacher or a boss. And they said something to you, and they said it to you a number of times to the extent that it became your own inner voice. Which is why it is so crucial that we are mindful about how we speak to our children and the children in our life, because how we speak to them and to our loved ones, how we speak to them becomes their inner voice, becomes your inner voice. It sounds like you telling yourself, oh, I'm not good enough. Self-doubt, second guessing, not smart enough, not strong enough, not far along enough. Fear keeps you imprisoned in that not enough story. And it will find 1,000 different doors to walk through to keep that story going. And I know this personally, I know this firsthand. I grew up, one of my parents was extremely fear-based, and I grew up with a lot of trauma. So I know that fear voice. And I got caught up in what I call a fear spiral. And there was a situation, it's still ongoing, and it is intense. And I could feel that fear rising inside of me, that familiar tightness, that tenseness. And I had a multitude of things running through me at the same time. I wanted to just yell, and then I wanted to run away. But I didn't. I paused. I stayed rooted in God. I prayed. I regulated my nervous system. I embraced this fear. I wrote. And I found my way back to my heart instead of letting my head run me. And fear doesn't only show up in a spiral like what I just described. It shows up in what we declare as failure, which our society has a lot of charge on the word failure, even though it really offers an enormous roadmap for growth and expansion. Now, I'm not saying go out there and fail. I'm just saying it would be great if we could reframe the idea of failure. Be very helpful for me, for others, and for kids that don't feel like they have to be perfect all the time. So in what we declare as failure and success, a disappointment, a letdown, a missed opportunity, something that didn't turn out the way we wanted, or a great achievement. Something did turn out the way we wanted. It exceeded what we wanted. And then there's this gripping of fear that just seems to suppress that light, that joy, that delight. And the difference is this can lift you up, this experience, this fear can lift you up, or it can keep you down. It depends on where you focus your attention, where you choose to put your energy, what you choose to listen to, because your mind may tell you all sorts of crazy things about what fear and success mean about you. But faith tells you something else entirely. Faith says, good for you. Let's keep going. I remember years ago when I first began attending Agape International Spiritual Center, founded and directed by Michael B. Beckwith, my mentor and spiritual teacher. He's many people's spiritual teachers. I remember he was on the pulpit and he was talking about somebody came to him and said, I lost my job. And he went, great. And they were like, what? And he's like, that's great because it means something else is there for you. And that's the point. Where are you placing your attention? What are you growing? What are you bringing in? What are you feeding? Because you know when you're acting from fear. You know what that looks like. The cold stare, the terse word, ignoring someone, shutting them out, shutting them down, the retaliation, the vengeance, the withdrawal of attention, affection, love, retaliation, competition, that never good enough, never done, the hopelessness. That's what fear does. That's how it shuts out the light. And when you're in this place, you are vulnerable to being controlled by outside sources. And oftentimes, a trauma response accompanies this experience of fear. Fight. You're going to get in there and fight. You're going to get in there and defend and justify. You're going to do all those things. You're going to flight. You're going to run. You're just going to run. You're not going to talk about it. I'm out of here. Too much, too difficult, too whatever. I'm out. Flight. That's the fight, flight. Freeze. Someone is saying something coming at you. It's too much. You're just shut down. It's not that you don't have a response. It's just you can't get to it because you're in a trauma response. And then there's fawn, which is people pleasing or appeasing, where you just want to make it right. You just want to make people happy. You just want to go along to get along. You don't want to, you just like, let me just calm the waters. Let me make sure, oh, I got to do this. And you know what? That occurs instead of an aligned response. And you can feel that in your body, right? When you're in a fear response. I can't see the chat, but I just invite you to let me know. Can you feel that? Rumi said, the wound is the place where light enters. Here's what I've come to know. Fear only ever speaks from the head in your thoughts. It reasons with you. It rehearses the worst outcome. You know, people that are always like, giving you this, well, you have to do this and you have to do that. Not necessarily out of a desire to just, be prepared, but scared. So this preparation comes from being scared, and they call that wisdom. This is the wise thing to do. But fear cannot survive in the heart. Faith stands for find answers in the heart. That's where the light is. There's an old word for this. And when I say old, I mean ancient wisdom. The new, Nous, seeing the eye of the heart. Mary Magdalene asked Yeshua, known as Yeshua or Jesus the Christ, even though that was not his last name. Just saying, whether a person sees a vision through their soul or their spirit. And he answered, a person doesn't see with the soul or with the spirit, but with the new. And it's not the mind, the thinking mind, it's beyond. It's not even the soul, it's the highest part of us that has a direct knowing with the divine, with truth. It just simply sees it. Fear can out-argue your head all day long. It'll wear you out. It cannot out-argue your heart. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said it so simply. Fear knocked at the door. Faith answered. There was no one there. Faith, the accessing of that light, does not debate fear. You're not trying to dim your light. Your intention is to radiate your life, to be that self-effulgence, to allow that light to shine, to rise up and shine, to reflect, radiate out of you. And it comes from standing in your faith, in knowing who you are, whose you are, and why you are that Cohen. In chapter 5 of the Gospel of Mary, the disciples are weeping and grieving and terrified after Yeshua, I call Yeshua, crucifixion. How are we going to go out into the world and spread the good news? If they didn't spare him, how will they spare us? And Magdalene, the one who has been called the apostle of apostles, his beloved, the one that they call the church and all of the patriarchal bureaucracy called the prostitute, the one that they expected to come undone, stood there and exemplified faith in the face of all this darkness. And she did not waver. She said, do not weep and do not grieve, nor be irresolute, which means uncertain. For his grace will be entirely with you and will protect you. In Aramaic, his grace is with you literally translates to his felt goodness and kindness are enveloping you. In other words, the nature of God, the light and the love of God is indwelling and saturating and permeating you. I remember when I had a health challenge that lasted for 12 years. And I was brought to my knees time and time again. I was in fear. I didn't feel like I had a lot of light to shine. And it was so unpredictable. And I was just, it was just so debilitating. And I remember those moments when I was just thinking, oh my God, is this my life? Is this how it's going to be? I just can't imagine that this is what my life is supposed to be like. And I was in fear. I wasn't able to drive for long periods of time, but I was in fear because I was like, bracing myself. What's going to happen? I wasn't in faith. I wasn't acknowledging the light that was within me until I hit bottom on my fear. And I was compelled. Am I going to stay in this darkness for the rest of my life? No, I am going to move to the faith. I'm going to move to faith. And I did, and I have. So this week, Notice your own Magdalene moment when people may come to you with their fear, wanting you to get into their fear with them. Or if something is coming up where you're feeling fear, lean into faith, lean into this light, sit and light that lamp within you. Lean into your own understanding, not into your misunderstanding. There are women in the history, men and women in history, that have done extraordinary things. And I'm going to name a few so you can see. And when I name them, you are going to have an instant recognition with the light that they were allowing to move through them. Harriet Tubman was a courageous Underground Railroad conductor and Union spy who risked her life to rescue dozens of enslaved people. In the face of extraordinary odds, it was her mission and faith, following the light of the divine, that brought her through any danger. Another example, Sojourner Truth, a powerful abolitionist and women's right orator who traveled the country advocating for racial and gender equality. At the end of her life, she said, "When I was a little girl, I used to think that God was everywhere outside of me. Now I know that God is in me and I am God." That is oneness, not blasphemy. That is acknowledging that light of the divine within her. Fannie Lou Hamer, beaten for trying to vote, stood up anyway and said she was sick and tired of being sick and tired, and kept moving, kept standing. None of them were fearless. They were faithful. They knew that the light of the divine was within them. And that's the distinction. They didn't wait for fear to leave the room before they acted. They simply stopped waiting for it to leave the room. Stopped waiting for someone to give them permission to shine their light. And so I give you that permission. You don't really need it from me, but I might be that human reminder in this moment to be, to honor that inner light, as the Sufis have, as Quakers have, Gospel of Thomas, Magdalene, Yeshua, throughout time. This light is the light that mystics have always pointed to. So you have an opportunity before you in every moment, literally in every moment, to say, "Whom shall I serve this day? The light or the fear?" Remember that you are imbued with the power of choice, a God-given right. It's so powerful. You get to choose and choose again. You have dominion over your thoughts, actions. God first, God only. That's it. And that's where you move from. So if you will, join me in this moment and repeat after me. I choose love. I choose to see my light. I choose to let my light shine. I choose health. I choose prosperity. I choose faith and love. I choose the light. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, beloved. We are
Mhm.
so grateful for you. I just keep hearing the song, the children sing, "This little light of mine."
Yes.
Little light of
Yes.
mine. And it's the simplicity. I think of repetitive songs like that, as children, and there's so much truth and mm, beyond truth, with just so much wisdom in those songs we sing as children. There's even like the Jesus Loves Me, these little tunes that, but maybe we forgot about them, or
Yeah.
we've had so much of this other stuff or trauma, other voices that became, our inner voice telling us something different. And we get to reset. We get to make the choice. Um, I love this question. Whom shall I serve this day? It's very
What
simple.
will I
It's
give power to?
Mhm.
What will I give power to? Because it's very, very easy when we are not in fit spiritual condition
Right.
to be swayed by what's happening in the outer world, by
Right.
a phone call or by an
Mhm.
email.
Right.
But when, right, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, that fear response just gets
Right.
activated, and the light that was shining so brightly, we've now dimmed.
Mm.
So we get to, it's a choice. Will I choose to continue to squelch this light, or will I feed the flame and let the
Mm.
light grow brighter and stronger as me?
Yeah. What do I want to be the expression of? I think you opened up with talking about this, how we're feeding ourselves with everything we're watching, consuming, the people we're around, right? And sometimes, it's so interesting too in spiritual communities. It could be people that are using the language, but yet there's something off, right, or vibrationally, or, this is where our discernment comes in about, whom shall I serve this day? To really be paying attention uh, to all the nuances and how easily it can become so attractive to kind of get on that bandwagon against something, or oh yeah, that was uh
Yeah, I think of it as mass hypnosis,
yes,
right?
yeah,
It's
it truly is.
yeah. And what's fascinating is that the ones, you know, Yeshua said, come out from among them,
Mm,
right? And
love that.
oftentimes the ones that come out from among group think, the ones that say, you know, I don't think that's right for me, are oftentimes the ones that bear the slings and arrows.
Mm,
And does it mean you stop? I don't know. Everybody's got to do their own inner inquiry, but it is exactly what you're
reflection.
talking about. When you pause,
Mm,
when you sit in the stillness, when you allow yourself to vision, right?
mhm.
You cultivate the quality of discernment that allows you to be like, mm, or
To
yeah,
feel what you said, what were how did you say this about um Mary Magdalene when she said, oh goodness, why
do
can't I
not
find
grieve,
it?
do not fear, nor
Yes,
be irresolute.
and then it was about embracing what was the
Oh, his
piece there?
grace is with you.
Yes, and that it was it in Aramaic here that his grace will be with you and protect you, and in Aramaic it's like it's you feel his goodness and kindness enveloping you. And so that to me you can feel this. So in your body when you're going to make that statement or post that thing on Facebook, like feel in your body do you feel the kindness of that and goodness of Yeshua enveloping you, that divine light, or do you feel like it's like a dimmer space, because you can, if you're paying attention and kind of going back to the light and just paying attention to all the little, I was really focusing on where do I see all the light and unexpected places when you're really feeling what does this do to my soul? Maybe my mind, this fear thing, it's loud and chattering because we're going to get on this bandwagon and say this thing and get into this group think. Then your mind is like, oh, I'm all over this. But what are you feeling in the body temple?
Oh yeah, the somatic work that's going to be part of our workshop.
Oh,
It's
good. Okay. Yes. Wait. That's
so
wonderful because you can uh, think that when you're on a certain bandwagon, I don't know why that word keeps coming to me, but that you're righteous and this is the way. And anybody who's not, on board with this or seeing it a different way is wrong. And yet these are the times I think really calling for the biggest reflection about where is that coming from? And is this fear driven? We often don't even know that that's fear driving us.
oh, absolutely. I had that experience. That's exactly, all of a sudden feeling that tightness in my body or that, I've got to resolve this now or watching somebody else act from fear and they
Mhm.
don't even know it.
Right. Right.
And it's like, wow, just like me. That's, the beauty of being in community, the beauty of being a human among humans is the
Mm.
opportunity to see myself in others,
Right.
where I've been, where I am, or where I'm going, where I
Right.
want to be, rather than perpetuating and dimming that light. I mean, like, there's a difference between embodying your light. I didn't mention this in our talk, but I think about this a lot. People in our world, in the vernacular, is the word sovereign. And I did it. I taught a class and a program on reclaim your sovereignty. And I always had like in something inside my solar plexus whenever I would say that. And, I saw somebody was talking about, Magdalene was sovereign. And I just completed a 16-week course. And I was like, you all, she never thought of herself as sovereign.
Right.
She embodied it.
Right.
And
Right.
that's the difference. A
Yes.
lot of times people will say that, and
Right.
you vibrationally, intuitively, you're like you just said, something's not
Yeah.
lining up.
It's like, are you trying to beat something, into others, Yeah, there's a different vibration there. Let's see what everybody here is sharing. I did love that faith find answers in the heart. That was great. Jan says, thank you, Wendy. Yes, you are that human reminder for me. Beautiful. Michael J says, beautiful truth. Thank you, beloved. Jan says, I choose light, health, prosperity, faith, and love. Thank you so much for your reminder, Wendy. Thank you, Jan. Luinda says, wonderful message, Wendy. It's so easy to get into negativity. A wonderful and positive reminders for me. Yay. Thank you, Luinda, for being here and sharing that. That's why we have community, because sometimes we need the reminders, and you mentioned this too, Wendy, when your maybe body isn't feeling so great, there's things that have us feeling a little dimmer, and then we come to a space that reminds us. And that's why it's so important to get this nourishment. And I love this conversation because it's what did you started off with saying we all have the divine spark. This wasn't just,
Right,
certain few,
right,
everybody. That means you.
right.
That
Yeah,
means
this is in
every.
Studio 54. This is, this is all of us. All are called.
Yes.
That saying, few are called. It's actually all are called,
Wonderful.
few answer.
Mm, wow. You answer yes, even the question that we asked, whom shall I serve this day? Mm,
That came
fear
from,
or light?
yes,
Fear.
fear or light. That came from, there was it's such a funny description of him, a warrior prophet, a warrior prophet in Moses's time named Joshua, who led the Israelites out of enslavement. And he said, whom
Mhm.
shall we serve? And
Yeah.
then Yeshua, who I believe was one of our very first sacred activists. I mean, there
Mhm.
were others, but I think he was really like, here we are 2000 plus years later, leaning into his wisdom and teaching.
Indeed.
And
Hmm.
he said, whom shall ye serve this day, God or Mammon? And God is light, God is love.
Right.
And the Mammon is the external. So
Mm.
oftentimes, times have changed,
Sure.
but wisdom hasn't, truth
Mm.
hasn't. These are eternal truth questions.
Right.
There's been where you place your attention, whatever you place your attention on
Mm.
grows, where energy goes, it grows. And so, these are really like ancient wisdom pearls
Mhm.
brought into the
Coming through
modern
Tony Robbins.
day.
I mean, Tony Robbins is what is it that where focus goes, energy flows.
Exactly. And then like Joe Dispenza, I don't
Mm.
believe he made this up, but he talks about, you know, what fires together, wires together.
Right. Yes.
But
Yes.
I mean, again, it's all of the same teaching. It's the same
Right.
teaching.
It is. It is. We say it in many different ways. Christy, thank you. She says, thank you for your wisdom. Nan says, great message, Wendy. Yes, thank you for participating. So we are going to go into a workshop where we're going to dive deeper. And we love that. We love deep dives around here. So before we do that, Wendy, let everybody know how they can stay connected with you and learn more about your work.
Absolutely. You can email me hello@wendysilvers.com. I can put that in the chat. I am on Instagram as Rev Wendy Silvers. I'm also on Facebook. I'm on Facebook as Wendy Silvers. Might be as Mama Wendy Silvers, and then as Rev Wendy Silvers. But go to the other one because I forget to check the Rev Wendy Silvers, even though it's there. I'm on
Yes.
Twitter. I'm on Substack. Oh gosh, please go to my Substack and follow my Substack. It's so wonderful. It's called Rev Wendy Silvers, The Mother Heart.
Okay, and I have Wendy tagged on my Facebook page, so if you want to go follow her, since we're on Facebook right now, that's an easy, quick way to get to Wendy, and then you can find all her links there and everything. So thank you, Wendy, for bringing your heart and soul to us. We are so grateful for you, and thank you for your sacred yes and being with our community. You are definitely a light for us. And so everybody else, thank you for tuning in with us today. If today's message has inspired you, encouraged you, brought more light into your day, we invite you to support the ongoing ministry here at Unity Inspired Living, visiting our unityinspiredliving.org page. And there's donate buttons and giving page and all the ways that you can contribute and have an energetic exchange with us. Your generosity makes it possible for us to continue offering inspiring speakers and the uplifting music and all of the spiritual support and education and compassionate outreach that you receive here. So thank you for being the light that shines. We are so grateful to you.
Thank you,
So
Amy.
we are going to close up our service now. And as we do that, I just invite you to receive the message that we know that this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine and let that land and remember that as you go out into your week that you have that spark of divinity. It's not meant just for a few select people. You have it. And so remember it this week as you go out into the week and shine your light. So shine on, bright beings of love. We are so grateful for you. We are going to move into our Zoom room right now. So hydrate, nourish. Do we need to bring anything to the workshop?
You can bring a journal. That would be good.
Journal. Okay.
Okay.
Something to write with and a piece of paper or journal. We will see you there in just about 10-ish minutes. So I'm going to drop the link here in the chat, and it's also on our homepage, unityinspiredliving.org. And remember, everybody is welcome. So one, come all, the more the merrier. Mwah.
Thank you.
Blessings. Thank you,
Exactly.
Wendy. We are so grateful for you.